Hello, hello, and welcome back. I'm Claire. This is Purple Poppy, and as you can see, we're on Sunday stitching. Now, this is book week, but for the last time because we are all done. Now, last time I was with you, we did this portrait picture in the red work. You only saw the lady, I believe, and then when I turned the camera off, I did the oval and the triangle ends. There's a little black pen there I need to get rid of. You may have seen the oval, I can't remember. But anyway, that's it done. And then in the back cover, I haven't done an actual page. Often in a paper junk journal, you would have a scrap pack or a scrap pocket towards the back. So I've just put a little Suffolk puff, a piece of coloured string from Eco Dyeing, and then this little section of red fabrics, mainly because this page was red. And I've done the old-fashioned giant tacking, so you can just snip it apart. And I've used this brass kilt type pin to just pin it to the inside layer of this back cover, so that it can easily, I need to come further over because I want it, concentrate where you want it, Claire, you want it there. So you can easily pin it open, pull bits out and use them in your journal, which is exactly, what we do with a paper book with the scraps at the back. So that takes 5 minutes to do. Now, hopefully by now you've done all your homework and you've edged all your pages and joined them to the one before. I've just used blanket stitch all the way around mine, so that all of your pages, are back to back. You can't see any of the stitching. There's a pin in there, look at that. You can't see any of stitching from behind. They're all joined together. And now we're going to join the whole thing together. So what you need to do is make sure that obviously all of your pages, I'm going to pull that out because I do not want to stitch that in. Make sure that all of your pages are lined up. So in fact, if I unpin that for a minute, it'll be easier for you to see. There you go. And just put my pinned bundle over there. So make sure that all of your pages are inside your cover. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we are going to pin each one. So if we were working with paper, what we would be doing now is using paper clips, but obviously we're stitching. So I've just pinned the bottom on the left hand and the top on the right. You can do it the other way around, it really doesn't matter. And then put this one in, make sure that it again is inside its cover and it's all nicely lined up. Now you may find that this is too thick now for you to pin this double page to this double page to the cover, in which case just pin your 2 double pages together. Okay. So there are, oh goodness me. Okay, so this page is attached. I'm going to take them out so I don't stitch them in the wrong place. These two, this one is attached to this, and this one is attached to this. Okay, might be an idea to get all your loose bits out, and then this one is attached to this one, and this one is attached to this one. Okay, and then I'm going to find that center point, okay, which for me should be about, and you should be able to feel, because it should be one of the thinnest areas, and just put a pin through the middle there. Okay, yep, that sort of feels fine to me. Okay, and then the simplest job of the whole project is we're going to do a running stitch all the way down this center to join it all together. Now you can start at the top there if you want to and work all the way down. I'm actually going to start at the bottom and work up, and the reason I'm going to do that is it gives me the opportunity to use this tail to put some beads on, should I choose to, when I'm finished. I mean, having beads at the top, I might not bother, but it's an option if I want to. So I'm going to take a nice eye needle. It's got a nice eye in it. I'm going to thread my needle, which you all know by now is, you know, often the headache of all headaches. Oh, goodness me. Should we try again? You could just go off and make a cup of tea while I do this. Right, so I want a nice long length that's gonna go all the way through, but it's also going to give me a nice long tail. So I'm gonna do a knot, but I want my knot that's going to give me a tail, so you need to make sure that it's not at the end like it normally would be, which I know is going to feel a bit foreign. So sort of drag your loop, okay, drag your loop and then do your knot. Okay, so you've got a nice long tail. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my wadding and then come up. That's, I don't know, a centimetre. And then if you pull your thread through, oh, for goodness sake. We haven't started with a knot already, have we, Claire? No, that is your knot, because obviously I've got a long tail. Totally forgot about that. There you go. So there's my long tail. And then I'm just going to do a running stitch. So I'm going under that flower, and you need to make sure that you go all the way through to the back. Okay, so they're going to be quite big running stitches, because that's how, you know, we can get through all the layers. Oh, for goodness sake, Claire. It's that one. That's the problem. Because of the long tail, you feel like you haven't got your thread through, but of course you have. So keep this bit much shorter, then it'll be more obvious. Okay, and then I'm going down again, trying to keep a straight line, and then come up again and pull that through. Okay, and there's your stitch, and then down, and then up. Now I can see that I've gone off centre there, so I'm going to come back towards me. There you go. Pull it all the way through, yeah, and again down and back up. Take that pin out. It's real basic stuff, to be honest with you. And then down and up. Obviously, if I was doing, well, maybe not obviously, but if I was doing a paper version, I would, I would probably be doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, which just requires 3 holes. Now, I don't want to interfere with this embroidered flower, so I'm going to go under with the eye end, under my stitches, like that. Okay, and then one more. Okay, and then like so. Back down, back up. Okay, and then I'm going to finish it off going through that one, and then through the cover. Okay, and then bring that down, use the eye to feed through and pull it tight, and then I'm going to do a little knot there by going through and then just 1, 2, 3 and put it up like so. Put it nice and tight, take my needle out and get rid of that excess thread. Take my pins out, 1, 2. Hello Mary. Open that page, find that pin, put my pieces back in, because now that it's stitched they can't get stitched into the wrong place. Pull that out, that's my thread, and then go back the other way, take out my pin, bring this over, put my scrap pack back in place like that, pull that down, just line that up nicely in my cover, and then there's my envelope flap gone there, that one goes in there, and there is your book. There's your stitching. You can see I went off centre a bit there because I was trying to go around that flower, but there's so much stitching on this cover it doesn't really show. If you're that bothered, you could draw yourself a pencil line or whatever and do it as a stab stitch rather than a running stitch. So there's my book. Now if you wanted a closure for it, this would be the time to consider a closure. Now the easiest way to do a closure for a book like this will be to find yourself a nice button. Now of course I haven't planned this, I didn't find a button. Let's find some buttons. So, big tin of buttons, and then we want a scrap of fabric that's going to be the right sort of colouring. Famous last words, that really, isn't it? Oh goodness me. Right, you can hear my voice even if you can't see me. I am still here, obviously. That's why you can hear me. Right, let's have a little look. Can't find scrap of appropriate fabric now. Of course I can't. Right, let me come back to you. Oh, so let's find a nice button now. Oh, I think that brown looks nice with the brown stitching. Or we've got this sort of tortoiseshell one, just right there on the top, like it was waiting for me. No, I'm going to go with the tortoiseshell, I think. Right. Oh, look at that. Saying about haven't got fabric. It was in the buttons in. Perfect. Okay, so. Oh, I almost forgot. Again, I need to say hello and thank you so much to all the wonderful people that watch and comment. I need to say hello and thank you to Wendy. Sorry, there is more than Wendy. I'm just trying to find a needle. 1 second. Right, to Wendy, Ella, Christine, Karen, Pat, Pearl, Michelle, Mary, Lynn, Pam, Denise, and Snoppy. Hello, thank you so much for all your support. It is very much appreciated. Okay, so I'm gonna thread this needle. I was gonna say that was a nice quick one, but look, I've actually damaged my thread. Oh goodness me. Come on, come on, come on, you know you want to. Come on. Right, there you go. So get a knot in the end. Really, 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 really simple. Get a knot in the end. Bring your knot through your wadding, probably about an inch, shall we say? About an inch. Through the wadding, make sure you're not through your back fabric, and you're about halfway down, and pull. And get that knot inside your layers, okay? And then we're gonna fold this end over. We're gonna come through our fabric there. We're gonna come through our button, okay? And then we're gonna sew our button on as you normally would. So I'm just sewing through. It's not very good angle, I know, I'm sorry. It's because I'm looking at both sides at once. Now by having the cream thread, it's not so obvious on this inside, okay? And then go back through there, back through there. I'll probably only do 2. You could obviously do more if you wanted to. Through there, through there, okay. and then through behind our fabric, and then through our fabric, but not through the button. And then, as my nan would say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep the bee in the hive. That's what she used to say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep the bee in the hive. Don't know why, but that's what she used to say. And then back through, do a nice little wrappy knot, and pull that all the way through, and then just trim it off. Okay, so now we've got a closure to our book. We'll just come round under the button. Job's a good one. You can even go round again if you want and tuck it under there. Job's a good one. Book's closed up. Nothing's going to fall out. It's all lovely and soft and squidgy. Boom, boom. And then if you wanted to add beads on here, you can. I don't think I'm going to bother because I've got these beads at the top. I feel it would be wrong. So if you decide not to, and you're 100% sure that you don't want to, because you know you can take away but you can't put back. Once you're sure, take your thread. I don't want to make you watch me thread and needle again. I do apologise. Take your thread and yes, bingo. Just give it an extra fasten. 2, 3 to make sure it's not going to come undone, and pull it nice and tight and trim it off. There you go. But I do advise that you leave the length and make sure before you go. So there's our book. I feel like it's come together quite quickly, to be honest with you. I don't feel like it's taken a whole amount of time. So next week, what we doing next week? Oh, next week we're going to be working on a different book. So if you're wanting to join in, this book is going to be all about hexes. So what I basically did was I've made it very roughly just under 8 1/4 by just under 8 1/4, so it's square. And I've got paper and fabric and paper, fabric, paper, fabric. You don't have to do alternates like this, you just do whatever you want. Paper, fabric, to give me pages all the way through. Okay, so if you want to join in, you could be getting that going. And basically this is just going to be a stitch book. So based on hexagons, if you've seen my Ko-fi, you'll have watched me putting all this together with this spider web hexie on the back. It's all just odd bits of patchwork fabric just to cover this. And then I put a spine piece which is crooked, and I did some bead work which again is crooked. Like, it's just about doing it for doing it. It's not about being perfect. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put, that will need trimming obviously, but we're going to put all our papers and fabrics inside, because this book, this Dot a Day book that I started with Jerry Bellini a couple of years ago, is, look, stuffed to the gills. There is no more room for anything else. So that was the Dot of the Day. I didn't do it daily. I did it probably weekly, maybe even monthly on occasion. And then this one is going to be the same principle, but in hexagons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come along, cover's all done now, so I'm going to come along with a hexagon. This one happens to be needle felting and some beadwork. I'm going to plop this on here and I'm going to write something, so it's going to be stitching and journaling, and I'll write something like lovely day at the beach with the grandchildren. Whatever has put you in the mood to make this piece, we're going to jot down on this page, and then next time round I'll do something else, and we'll just keep going. And obviously you can do whatever you want to do. So that's what's coming next week instead of the art roll. And then the week after, instead of this book, because this book is finished, we are going to be working, or I am, and you're obviously very welcome to join in if you want to. I'm going to be making this Christmas pouch. So basically what I've done is I've taken a piece of fabric, I've just put on a piece of wadding underneath, I've pinned where I want my fold to be, and I've got this poinsettia picture which I've very roughly drawn round the outside, and that's what we're going to be working on. So recap, the book is finished. I hope you've had joy making it if you joined in. Next week we're on the Hexie book and making a journal based around hexes, and then the week after we're on our Christmas pouch. So this Sunday today is the 9th. This will be on the 16th. This will be on the 23rd. There you go. And then we'll be going back to this on the 30th, and then back to this on, what will that be, the 7th, something like that. So there you go. So that's what's happening on Sunday stitching for the next, well, month really. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.